Hey, what is up, everybody? This is the great Puckettini, and what I got for you today is the Arkansas Razorbacks top 10 players versus the Oklahoma State Cowboys. Now, I'll start off by saying, I was um, angry that we lost for sure. I was very angry. I thought we should have won it. We played so well in the first half and didn't do much in the second half. But that's the way it goes, man. I tell you, when you play these teams like Oklahoma State, who's the number 15 team in the country, the margin of victory is so small. And make a couple mistakes like we did, you're just going to get beat. And we just got to be able to come together. Oklahoma State's a very have a lot of experience. They're a very experienced team, and they have a lot of the same players returning from last year. However, with us, I think we got 55 new players. Like their offensive line has been together for a very long time. I think have played together more than any line in the history of college football, maybe something like that. I think I heard, and they played very well. We didn't get much of a pass rush at all on their quarterback or anything. We graded out very poorly. But there was a lot of great performances. We played really well at times, and other times we didn't. Just the thing I keep telling myself, like I was real mad. I thought, you got to be able to kick a 42-something yard field goal. We're a major Division I school. We've got to be able to do that and think we're going to make it most of the time. And I was a little bit mad at Coach Pittman there when the game was tied at 31 all, I think maybe. And we did not kick that, or maybe it wasn't 31. It might have been 24 all, I think. And then we I can't remember the exact score, but it was tied up. And I thought we should have kicked it. We went for the 4th and 5. And, I was mad at the time. That to me, I hate it when coaches do that. Now if you're in high school, if that was me coaching high school, and I wouldn't probably do it. I'd go for it because I didn't have a kicker a lot of times kick that far. But at the University of Arkansas, we got to have a kicker that can kick 40 yards and that we feel pretty confident about. Now, I'm not saying they're going to make it every time, but now, hey, with Coach Pittman, to his credit, he did say that Coach Prino had a good play, felt good about. And, hey, Coach Prino called an absolute wonderful game. We had, 600 yards of offense or something. I mean, just really played really well again offensively. And second half, we kind of sputtered a little bit. Our defense was really struggling, too, which kind of surprised me. Our secondary was really getting torched pretty good. But, they felt good about the play. And it might have worked. We had a guy come off our right edge there, just really almost unblocked. And then Talon, he is such a good athlete. He still almost got it. I thought he was going to get it. And he came up just about a yard short. And but anyway, when you look back at it, you just think about where we came from. We're going to Oklahoma State, number 15 team in the country. If we would have said last year at this time or sometime during the summer that we'd go there and have a chance to win, get beaten double overtime, a lot of us would probably be happy about that. But still, we don't like to lose, and we were right there about to win. And I know that's what a lot of people said. We just seem to find ways to lose. And that's something we got to overcome. I think Coach Pittman's got to get that out of his mind, too. And when, we ought to be able to kick a 40-yard field goal. Unless you're there at the stadium before, and a lot of teams do this, they have their kicker will come and say, I feel real good at anything inside the 40. Outside the 40, I'm not real sure about. And if it was something like that, then I understand. But, you got to work that for the game and know where he can kick from. And I think we should at least try it. But, hey, Coach Petrino is a heck of a coach. I never doubt him. If he says he thinks he can get it, they're always positive. That head coach has got to overrule that sometimes. But anyway, hey, man, I'm real proud of these guys, this team. I'm ready to watch them come in and hopefully lay it down to Alabama-Birmingham home game. Got to play good at the home. And I'm ready to watch them play and get going again. All right, here we go. Number 10. These are the top 10 players, and I'm going off of grades, off of that PFF.com, Pro Football Focus. A lot of people say, "Oh, they're not real, this or that," but they're usually pretty good. But there's some that I question too. But I go by that just so I can show you. We can see who the players are playing good, regardless of position, and kind of see who. And that's why you grade. No matter if you win 70-0 or if you win, 38-31, which we got beat, but you see who really played well. You can't just think that everybody played good in the win, everybody played bad in the loss. That don't happen. But anyway, so I like to recognize these guys for their great play. Number 10 is one of my favorites, safety Jaden Johnson from Cedartown, Georgia. I love how Jaden hit people. He didn't get any big hits, this last week. But I tell you what, they shut down Wally Gordon. I know that. They did a great job with that. Jaden had 4 tackles. He had 2 stop tackles, which that means that he stopped 2 drives. He made tackle on like 3rd down, forced them to punt. He also had a pass broken up. Now, he graded out 68% total defense, overall defense, 69% in his tackling, and 71% in coverage. So good job there, Jaden. Number 9 is defensive tackle Eric Gregory from Memphis, Tennessee. I was hoping the D-line would get a little bit more pressure on the quarterback, but they weren't able to do that. But they did a really good job stopping the run. Now, Eric had 2 tackles, and they were both stop tackles, which stopped drives. He graded out at 68% overall defense, 77% in the run, which is a really good grade. If you're in the 70s, that's a pretty good grade. And then 73% in his tackling grade. So good job there by Eric Gregory. And I said, if you watched my show that morning, my video I put up, that I thought the defense tackles played really well. And they did versus the run. We just couldn't get a pass rush going. We just really struggled. And then when we tried to blitz, we had a hard time covering. That's what's worrying me is our secondary, which was such a pretty good strength for us last year. So we got to find that balance there, something. All right, number 8 was running back Jaquindon Jackson from Dallas, Texas. He's transferred in, of course. Everybody knows that. But anyway, Jaquindon had 24 carries for 149 yards and 3 touchdowns. An absolutely monster game. He averaged 6.2 yards per carry. He did have 1 catch for 13 yards. He graded out at 68 on offense, 81 in pass blocking, which is very, he's a big boy too, like Wally Gordon. He's 6'2", something, 220, 230 in there. 81 pass blocking, and then 68 in the run game. So, the grades, you say what you want to about him, but Jaquindon had an absolutely wonderful game. I just wish he wouldn't have got hurt as much because we needed him in there. Some of our other backs are a little bit smaller, and they probably have a hard time pass blocking. And Jaquindon, boy, he's really played well. He looked like the Heisman Trophy candidate more than Ollie Gordon did. All right, number 7, and this is, I know, pretty controversial, but it's wide receiver Isaiah Satanga from Fayetteville, Arkansas, man. This young man had 4 catches for 78 yards, which is a whopping 19.5 yards per catch, showing what he can do offensively. Petrino's really getting it out of him. He graded out a 69 overall on offense, which is a really good grade, 69% receiving grade, and then a 60% run blocking, which, a little low. I'd like to see that a little bit better, but he's a small guy. And, of course, we all know the punt return. Hey, that was, he had a guy at his feet. It just was a bad situation. It just seemed like Arkansas we couldn't do anything right there in the second half. Everything we did just seemed to backfire on us. And that happens sometimes, You're playing a real good team like Oklahoma State. The margin for error is so small. You just can't make mistakes, and unfortunately we did. But anyway, Isaiah Satanga had a good game offensively. Very good. I'm so happy to see that. He's a good athlete from Arkansas. All right, number 6 was tight end Luke Haas. He's from Bixby, Oklahoma, and luckily he had him a big game going back to Oklahoma. He did have 2 catches for 46 yards and a touchdown. He graded out at 71% overall on offense and 82 run blocking. And I have Luke Haas' name there again, a typo by me. But anyway, very good run blocking. That's very good to see. He did get hurt on that deep pass he caught. I hope he's okay. We need him to play, and we need him healthy. He's a big player for us blocking and receiving. He did it very well. All right, number 5 was wide receiver Andrew Armstrong from Dallas, Texas. He had a monster game as well. He had 10 catches for 164 yards. Just an absolutely monstrous game. He had averaged 73%. His grade, was 73% on offense, 73% in the passing game, and then 62% run blocking, which is pretty good. And we need those receivers blocking so we can get some big running plays. And so Andrew had an absolutely wonderful game, man. 10 catches, wow, that's huge. That's a season for some people. So had a really, really great game. Great job there, Andrew. Number 4 was tight end Andreas Pesky, I think. I have a hard time saying his name, but he's from Copenhagen, Denmark. I was assistant at the time, an exchange student from Denmark, and boy, he was a linebacker. Boy, he was good too. Kind of looked like Pesky a little bit. He wasn't quite as big as him, but he would hit you. He could play. He was physical, good player. Psyche only played like 11 plays, I think, something like that. Didn't play very many. And his best thing, he's graded out at 78 on offense and then 81% in run blocking. So that's very good. We just get him that passing game a little bit. His play action passes hit him. I'm sure Coach Petrino will build that out, that package with him in there, and he'll be catching some passes pretty soon. But very good game there. Good job. In the few plays he was in there. That's why I used a grade. Even I went ahead with it. I started to only put the guys in here that played at least half the plays, but that way we see he did good on the plays he's in there. So let's increase it a little bit. All right, number 3 was quarterback Taylon Green from Louisville, Texas. Had an absolutely wonderful game. He had a few hiccups there. Handling the ball a few times, which snaps weren't perfect. I coached for several years in the spread, and that happens, man. That's the most maddening thing is when you can't get the snap in that shotgun, and it's tough. And especially when the center's got somebody on his head like Oklahoma State did a lot of times. It's hard to snap it and then block. It's a hard job. And, that's why Coach Pittman talks about they need centers and tackles, and you do. I mean, boy, if that center can't get a really perfect snap, it breaks everything up. But anyway, not blaming on the center. Taylon should have caught some of them. But anyway. But he had a really good game. All right, Taylon was 26 of 46 for 416 yards. He had 1 touchdown and 1 interception. He had 15 carries for 89 yards. I mean, he had a monstrous game. That's over 500 yards of offense. I mean, man, did we hit a home run today? I didn't do it, but did Coach Petrino and Coach Pittman hit a home run with this guy or what? Over 500 yards of offense versus the number 15 team in the country at their place. So he graded out at 78% on offense, which was the highest grade on offense. 80% in the passing game, 66% in the run game. He played he played a wonderful game. I mean, he is a very good player. You see why Coach Petrino wanted him. He's a heck of a player. And you see how much better. I hate to say it, but you see how much faster he is than KJ Jefferson. I wish KJ had all the luck in the world. I hope he does good. But, boy, you can see a difference there. And that's what I was saying last year, son. I thought that if we had a little bit better quarterback, somebody faster, we could be better offensively. But it's not all KJ Jefferson now. But anyway, Taylon had an absolutely wonderful game. I'm so glad he's with us with the Razorbacks. I don't think I'd take many above him right now. I mean, I feel every time the ball's in his hands, he's either going to hit a home run or he might strike out maybe. But if we can take out those strikeouts, boy, he's a player. Man alive. He is he's good. So I'm so glad he's with Arkansas. Wouldn't trade him. All right, number 2 is a guy that didn't get to play a whole lot either, and I don't know why, because he always grades out good. His safety, Hudson Clark from Dallas, Texas. I'd definitely like to see him play some more. We really struggled in the secondary. Holy moly. We graded out horribly, and we just got absolutely torched in the second half. We couldn't cover. I mean, we just got absolutely torched. Now, Oklahoma State has some really good receivers. They have 3 good ones and a good quarterback, and they have a great offensive lineman. They're a very good team. But, man, we really struggled. We couldn't get a pass rush, and then when we tried to blitz, you have to cover man, and we just really struggled doing that. But anyway, Hudson only played 8 plays. Now, he did have 1 big pass breakup on a crossing route. Did a really good job breaking that up. He graded out at 76% on defense, 60% versus the run, and 77% in coverage. So I'd definitely like to see him play some more. Maybe put him at corner. He played corners first year too, but everybody wanted to badmouth him and talk about he wasn't very good. Well, we got absolutely smoked on Saturday. We got and we didn't play real good against Pine Bluff. I was kind of hoping that we would correct it, and we played good in the first half. But our offense totally dominated the first half. So defense didn't have to do a whole lot. But in the second half, defense had to try to bail us out a few times. They couldn't do it. And because Oklahoma State's really good. But I'd like to see Hudson get some more playing time. I think he's a pretty good player. And get him out there. Let's see. All right, number 1, and this is up to, boy, I hate it the way the game ended there. But the number 1 player graded out the best was linebacker Xavier Sorey from Cableton, Florida. And, of course, he's transferred from Georgia. Very highly really excited when he came. And I'm still excited. I'm excited, super excited we have him. He had led us in tackles, 9 tackles. 7 of those tackles stopped drives. He graded out at 77%, and that was our highest defensive grade. Taylon Green had the highest, I think, on offense. And Xavier, I think that was the highest grade overall too. I believe I put that down. I think he was the highest overall. He must be, should have been if he's number one. He graded out 91% versus the run, 71% tackling, and then 66% coverage. He had a really good game. I hate that ended there at the end where he, kind of suplexed the running back. Motions got a little bit better of him. Just got to pull back there a little bit. But I'll tell you a story like old Bill Parcells used to say. He said, if you got an old puppy, if that puppy don't bite, it's hard to teach it to bite. You'd rather teach that puppy not to bite than to have to teach him to bite. So we don't have to teach Xavier to bite. He can already bite. We want him to pull off on it sometimes. And that's a good thing, We don't want any penalties like that. But Xavier played an absolutely wonderful game. Played really well. Was graded out as our best player. Just hate that play happened there at the end where he got that penalty and really hurt us. But and I'm sure he feels worse than anybody else about it. That's what people don't understand a lot. That these guys that they make mistakes or do something, they usually feel the absolute worst about it. Trust me, they want to do good, and he's going to have many good games for us. And I'm so glad he's with Arkansas, and he's a heck of a player. We're really glad we got him, and he's going to learn from it. He's going to get better. I guarantee you, he's a good player. Well, that's all I got, guys. That's my top 10. I hope you enjoyed it. We're looking forward to see those Arkansas Razorbacks get back playing this next Saturday against UAB, University of Alabama, Birmingham. I think they're going to play great. I thought offense was really good. You notice you didn't see offensive linemen in these. And there were a couple of them that were real close to making the top 10. They just barely missed it. But anyway, so good game. Arkansas just should have won. Just keep in mind that was the number 15 team in the country. Bad thing is, too, we're in the SEC, and the margin for win-loss is so small. Your margin for error is so little to still win. These teams are so good, and that's what's tough. And we have such a tough schedule, and but I look forward to us bouncing back and playing better. That's all I got, guys. Have a great day. Go Hogs.